we are doing something exceptional on the show. It's the Women's Premier League. Yes, the Women's Premier League, and it's just left with one game to decide which team is the champion of the zone. Remember, we have Northern Zone and also Southern Zone, but the real action is in the Southern Zone, where these three teams, Police Ladies, Hazakers Ladies, and Jonina Ladies, are vying for the top spots. Who will win this zone to qualify to the final of the Women's Premier League? So, as you can see on our screens, on the table, we have Police Ladies. After 17 games, they have 36 points. The Hazakers Ladies also have 36 points. Jonina Ladies, after 17 games, also have 34 points. That means that any of these three teams, Police Ladies, Hazakers Ladies, and Jonina Ladies, any of them could win the Southern Zone of the Women's Premier League. Interestingly, two of these teams are meeting this weekend, 12 April. If you can move on to the next slide, you will see the fixtures and also look at the results there. So, Army Ladies are playing against Berry Ladies on 12th April at the Tesi Mass Park. Then this is the big game. Hazakers Ladies, who are currently second with 36 points, they will be locking horns with Jonina Ladies, who are third with 34 points. We will look at the permutations. What does it mean for Hazakers Ladies when they win, whether they draw or lose? What does it also mean for Jonina Ladies? We also have Faith Ladies and Halifax Queens meeting. Lady Strikers and Soccer Intellectuals will be locking us, and Epiphany Warriors and Police Ladies here. So let's move on to the next one. And interestingly, this is Grace Banwa of Hazakers Ladies. Hazakers Ladies are second on the league log with 36 points. They have a chance to qualify, but their goalkeeper, Grace Banwa, who was recently called to the Black Queens, she has 13 clean sheets. The next on the bill is Jonina Ladies. So Hazakers Ladies are playing against Jonina Ladies. These two goalkeepers have the most clean sheets in the league so far. 13 for Grace Banwa and also 11 for Osman Uzema of Jonina Ladies. That tells you how interesting that game will be. So we've been joined on Zoom by Abel Frames Jr., a women's football analyst. He will help us analyze these games and what does it mean for any of the teams. Abel, if you can hear me, good evening. Thanks for joining us.
Good evening, James, and thanks for having me. It's always a
great,
pleasure to join the show.
It's great to have you on the show. Let's get straight into action. We have three teams in the Southern Zone of the Women's Premier League: Hazakers Ladies, Jonina Ladies, and also Police Ladies. Any of these three teams can qualify to the final and meet another team in the Northern Zone. What do you make so far of this league table? And later we will discuss about the permutations.
Well, it's been, as usual, a very competitive season. We expected much from the teams, and they actually delivered. You could pick a team like Jonina Ladies from coming from last season. This is their second season in the top flight. Last season they secured the fifth position, lost out on the top four by head-to-head against Police. This season, here they are in the finals of the FA Cup, and then they're also vying for the ultimate, which is to be on the summit of the Saudi zone to enable them qualify to play in the finals of the Women's Premier League. Then there is the Hazakers Ladies, who needs no introduction.
Yeah.
Even though this season they've not been themselves, but here they are still in the race for this one. And then also some mighty clubs are falling. Very Ladies, surprisingly. Where they seem to find themselves this season. Because we talk about Faith Ladies, who is also battling for relegation. So it's been a very competitive season. Clubs who did good recruitment, who actually had a good team, had pleasing match measures to ensure that their team stays competitive and still out there battling competitively. Now, if you go to the Northern Zone too, you can see the same story. Ampem Darkwa, for about 3 seasons running, we've had Ampem Darkwa, Dreams Ladies, and Northern Ladies always being in the top 4 position. This season, story didn't change. It's likely to be the same. Supreme Ladies is likely to be replaced by a club from the north, either Tamale Super Ladies or Savannah Ladies, who is returning to the Premier League. And so it's been a very competitive season. Some top clubs. If you go to the Northern Zone, like there's a club like Supreme Ladies. See now, if you look at the last season's finals of the the women's season, the FA Cup, the women's FA Cup, and then the women's Premier League. About 11 players were from Supreme Ladies. So it tells you the kind of team and the kind of history that they have in the league. This season, if they are not able to grab all 3 points, and I hope for a favor in other games, they may be bowing the goodbye to the women's Premier League. So it just sums up the whole competitive nature of the league, and I've actually enjoyed it this season.
Okay, so let's focus on the three teams that are likely to qualify to get the top spot in the Southern Zone. So on our screens, what to expect on the final day in the Southern Zone title race. Now, first on the bill, if Azakes are able to seal a slot in this season's final, they will need to beat Jonina Ladies on the final day and hope Police Ladies will lose to Epiphany Warriors. The second instance is that for Police Ladies, a draw will be good and enough to win their Southern Zone, provided Jonina also drop points against Azakes Ladies. Then for Azakes Ladies to win the Southern Zone, they also they need to ensure that they can beat Azakes Ladies and hope Police Ladies drop point against Epiphany. Ebro, what do you make of this permutation? Who do you think will be able to win the Southern Zone?
Well, James, let me give you a little brush about one thing. So how competitive this league season has been is that not only the battle for who gets to play who gets to play against Ampim Dakwan in the finals. There's also the battle for the top spot for the top 4 spots in the Saudi zone. Quickly, Army Ladies currently is sitting in fourth in the Saudi zone. They actually have 29 points, and they are just 2 points above Epiphany Warriors, who is an UB. Yeah. Now, Army have a better head-to-head over Epiphany Warriors. They won the first leg and then drew the return leg. So actually having 4 points over them. Right. Now, Army just needs a draw, and then they'll be able to once again, for the second time, secure a top 4 position. Top 4. You know that being the top 4 spot actually gives you the ticket to participate in the Women's Premier Super Cup, which is like a curtain raiser to the whole Women's Premier League season. And so they would have to do that. And they are playing against Bury Ladies, a team who is already relegated. Army trashed Bury Ladies by 5-1 in the first leg, and so you expect them to repeat that, or at least get a draw to salvage their situation. But hey, Bury Ladies will also want to take an honorary bow, at least get to give their fans something to cheer for. And it's Army Ladies, it has been one of the boogie side for Bury Ladies. That's why they are from there. They are able to at least get a point or get to the maximum points from them. But this weekend, I expect Army to cement their top 4 position. Now, there are two other important games in the Saudi zone. Actually, 4 for the race of who gets to be on the summit 2, and then there are 2 for who gets to maintain their premiership status. Now, beginning with who gets to be on the summit of the Saudi zone, it's the game between Azakes Ladies and Jonina. Jonina Ladies, as already said, they've had a brilliant season in the finals of Women's FA Cup, also in the running for who gets to top the Saudi zone. Now, they've had last season they were fifth with 26 points, and here they are once again in trying to vie for a top 4, which they already have. Yeah. Now, what they want to do now is actually to get to see if they are able to secure 3 points against Azakes Ladies, they will be able to actually get to be on top. Okay. Now, because they have a better head-to-head against Police Ladies. Yeah. And so all what they need to do today, or all what they need to do this weekend is that they have to beat Azakes Ladies if they are to have the chance of playing in the final against Ampim Dakwan. Now, for Azakes Ladies, they've not been the same since the departure of Coach Yusuf Bazigi. Yeah. Coach Messi, who was deputizing for Bazigi, had to start the season with them. Along the line, they brought in a familiar face, an old face in Coach Boniface. And even though they are still in the race for for who gets to play in the finals, but they've not been that competitive.
All right.
Now, the first game between these two sides, Jodina and Azakes Ladies ended goalless at the Antigua Stratev. That was on match day 9. And per the rules governing the competition, head to head, it's the tiebreaker when two teams are stacked on the same point. Now, like I said, Hazakes are playing at home. And they are famous, or they don't be playing at home. They've moved from their famous secondary park to, and they are now playing on an AstroTurf. Jonina is a team who is also very familiar to an AstroTurf because since last season they've been playing, or even in our Division 1 they've been playing all their games on the turf, and so it's a surface that they are quite used to. Now, the fight between these two teams have usually seen Hazakes Ladies being the favorites, but you can't take anything away from Jonina, who are highly motivated, looking at where they are coming from last season and to where they are going now. And so I won't be surprised. I won't be surprised if Jonina pulls a surprise over Hazakes, and then they're able to get all 3 points, or at least a draw. If they secure a draw, it means that it brings the next game in focus. That means that they would have to rely on the outcome of the game between Police Ladies and then Epiphany Warriors. Police Ladies' last 2 seasons were on the brink of leaving the league. They were the last but 3 team on the table. Last season, coach Chief Inspector Kasim took over. He managed to secure a top 4 position for the team. And then also secure the final of the Women's FA Cup. But then they lost narrowly to Army Ladies. This season here, they are first on the league log for now. They've actually had a better head-to-head advantage over Hazakes Ladies. They actually went to Takoradi to beat Hazakes Ladies by a goal, and then secured this one a draw at home. And so they have a better head-to-head against Hazakes Ladies. Now, what it does is that for Police Ladies, they would have to be so for Police Ladies, they would have to. You have to take this game seriously. Now, Epiphany Warriors is also looking at not letting the top 4 position slip them. In the last 4 seasons, in the last 4, they have a chance to actually qualify to play in the Premier Super Cup to secure the 4th position. That is if Army Ladies fails to secure a draw or a win against Berry Ladies. So that is the limitation there. Now, in the relegation battle, there's this game between Fate Ladies and then Halifax. These 2 teams are tied on the same points, 12 points each, having won the same number of games, which is 2, having done the same number of games, which is 6, and then losing 9.